Hello, and thank you for tuning in. I'm Speaking Wind Woman. Combining traditional philosophies and modern technology, I host and produce these YouTube videos that promote health and wellness strategies that have worked for me, and the research that I've done to understand why. Subscribe today and receive regular updates on the Fibro Fight series, and while you're at it, consider checking out my other videos and publications, the resourceful links on a variety of subjects that have been offered. This series introduces strategic suggestions based on current research and focuses on the 5 key factors affecting the success in fighting fibro. Diet, exercise, natural pain and symptom relief, techniques for quality sleep, rest, and most essential, adopting and maintaining a more positive attitude. Fibromyalgia is a chronic disorder that is characterized by widespread musculoskeletal pain, fatigue, and tenderness in localized areas. Rheumatologists have 2 criteria for diagnosing fibromyalgia. The first is a history of widespread pain that has lasted over 3 months, and the presence of tender points in 18 sections of the body. At least 11 of these points must be tender for a clinical diagnosis to be complete. I personally was diagnosed in or around 99-2000, and I went straight into denial psychologically. However, despite mind over matter, my butt still landed and stayed in a hospital bed or an electric wheelchair for extended periods of time, lasting days, weeks, or even months. I fought battles in vain, and winning some, losing most, against a make-believe internal enemy for 5 years before I conceded the war. Influenced by well-meaning professionals in the medical field, friends and family of course, as well as an insane amount of advertising everywhere, I caved and loaded up on the pharmaceuticals, and they worked until they didn't. So I got more, and more, and then I got some to fix the side effects of those. And so on, until finally my ability to live was solely dependent on pharmaceutical chemical drugs, and they didn't work. I existed in a delusional drugged fog, filling with toxins, wondering when I'd finally die. But then, weighing little more than 75 pounds and without an appetite, I was very physically and mentally stressed. My bladder emptied into an attached catheter, and I was only eliminating my bowel every 28 to 32 days on average. By 2011, I was taking 8 to 14 pills every 4 to 6 hours for a total of 96 pills a day, plus a fentanyl patch and Demerol or morphine as required. That's when I had a stroke. I was in a hospital for nearly a month, during which time something happened. A part of my subconscious was woken up, and though I couldn't explain what was different, something certainly was. I moved away from family, friends, and caregivers for a little while. I secluded myself from as much external influence as possible. There was no television, no internet, and little to no radio. The communication with the outside world was limited only to caregivers and rare moments with limited friends and family. I spent my time reading a great deal, mostly about Ojibwe history, culture, lore, traditions, the healing and philosophy of the Anishinaabe. I learned a lot about my roots, and I came to understand the teachings of my elders with a much clearer understanding of the components and influences that make me, me. I adopted many of these philosophies, and I began learning about the natural medicines, the wild herbs and plants in our region and around the globe. Unfortunately, it got a little bit worse before it got better. Unintentionally, I mistook my medications and overdosed on the fentanyl, which was a horrible emergency room experience that I will definitely share in future videos. However, regardless, I survived, and terrified that it could happen again, I disposed of all the medications when I returned home, acknowledging the fact that without these meds, I'd most probably be dead in a very short time. Quite frankly though, I was through with simply existing. My first grandchild had been born only days before the accident, and the thought of having to spend the rest of my life as a husk of a being was not the type of memories that I intended to leave as a legacy in anyone's mind. I spent the next several days in and out of consciousness, enduring, oh my God, unexpressible horrendous withdrawals during the detox, and I truly applaud anyone who has survived such an experience. You're amazing. So what happened to me? Because as you can see, it didn't kill me. Theoretically, the overdose forced a cleansing of toxins from my system, or so to speak, which also induced a major bowel blowout, and through a series of events, I was finally introduced to a medical marijuana enthusiast who taught and introduced me to the many hundreds of other benefits that are achieved from the plant besides simply alleviating spasms, pain, and helping with sleep. First, I learned how to cook with cannabis and incorporate it into at least one meal and/or snack each day. Don't forget to check out the Cooking with Cannabis Cure information series that will soon be available on our website. For me, ingesting marijuana meant an increase in appetite, which led to an increase in weight, and energy, which led to an increase in activity, ultimately improving digestion and elimination. I had a clearer mind, better focus. I developed a healthier attitude towards living and experienced a continued decrease in spasticity. Recognizing the benefits and symbiotic connections, my studies began. Studying the marijuana plant and its medicinal attributes and benefits encouraged further learning, study, and understanding, and not just about this particular plant, but all kinds of native natural remedies and cures. So I'm working on a Butter Me Up series. Check it out. Stay tuned. Well, winter passed and spring came, and with it, for me, a second lifetime to live. I moved back to my hometown, the beautiful and scenic Penetanguishene. Lured by the bay and the bush, I began taking daily walks, seeking out all these plants that I read about, studying the wildlife, and really truly enjoying the daily exercise and stretch routines I had begun implementing into my regime. By far, this has been what got my get up and go up and going. I still experience periodic and unpredictable days or moments in which I feel like that get up and go got up and went, but typically it's because I'm messing with one of the key factors to fight fibro. Weather is a continuous challenge that plays havoc with my system, and I'm planning a new strategy. I have been researching success stories and will keep you posted with all that I find on the subject. Nonetheless, more food meant more energy and strength, and within a few short months, it probably helped that I was entering into the warm summer months. But I began walking, just a few steps at first, but by the end of the year I was fully mobile and hope was definitely on the horizon. I put a lot of effort into eating several times a day, quality, not processed foods. I'm now walking 3 to 5 kilometers a day, weather permitting of course, and I make great efforts to go at least once a week for a 10 to 15 kilometer hike through the bush or some other physically tenuous activity like a bike ride. I enjoy 15 to 30 minutes of high intensity, not impact, Pilates, and or yoga. And I happily dance with that adorable grandson I spoke of earlier. With such a busy and active life now, I'm able to obtain a more natural quality sleep and rest. Bouts of insomnia still challenge me frequently, but again, I'm learning. Utilizing cannabis to induce sleep has been effective when inhaled through smoke or vapor, and has become a very large part of my daily regime as well. The last battle and the weapon that I intend to use to beat the autumn chills and winter blahs this year is an infrared sauna. Apparently, and I only recently read this, the infrared sauna therapy is extremely effective in helping to detoxify. It also helps for us fibro sufferers to get our internal thermostat to function a little more productively. That being said, I'm hoping to beat the winter chills with a personal unit in the very near future. In conclusion, the Fibro Fight videos that are offered through Gypsy Wind Productions introduces strategic suggestions for implementing tools based on current research, focusing on the key factors of success: diet, exercise, proper quality sleep and rest, as well as an improved attitude. Education is empowerment, and I hope that my story has offered hope and motivated you or a loved one to take action and fight fibro. Life is worth the battle. Subscribe today and receive regular updates for each time we post a new video. I'm Speaking Windwoman. A complete bio and history is available on the website at www.gypsywindproductions.ca. While you're there, please check out our sponsors and advertisers. Because of them and you, these publications and productions are possible. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. I look forward to your comments and suggestions for this and future productions. Stay happy, get healthy, be strong. Ciao for now.